Over 1 million people enter Canada in a single year. But here's the shocking part. Canada doesn't have enough homes, doctors, or jobs to support them. Quiet policy signals suggest something unthinkable. Permanent residency may be drastically reduced or even paused in 2026. If you believe Canada is the easiest PR destination, this might be the moment that belief collapses. Students, workers, families, millions of dreams are hanging in the balance. People who sold property, took loans, or waited years in immigration queues could suddenly face closed doors. And what's scarier? This change isn't being announced loudly. It's happening silently, piece by piece. So the real question is this: is Canada ending PR or redesigning it forever? In this video, I'll break down 10 powerful reasons behind this shift and why most people will be caught completely unprepared if they don't understand what's coming next. Number 1. Population pressure. Canada's population growth is no longer slow or steady. It's explosive. In just one recent year, the country added over 1 million people, the fastest growth rate in its modern history. On paper, that sounds like progress. But in reality, Canada's cities, services, and systems were never built for growth at this speed. Roads, public transport, schools, hospitals, and housing are struggling to keep up. When population growth moves faster than planning, cracks begin to show, and those cracks are now impossible to ignore. What makes this situation even more serious is where this growth is happening. Most newcomers are settling in the same few cities: Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and Montreal. These cities are already stretched thin. Rent prices are skyrocketing, commute times are worsening, and basic services are overwhelmed. The government is realizing that adding more people without expanding infrastructure first creates long-term damage. And when leaders are forced to choose between public stability and rapid PR intake, stability usually wins. This is why population pressure has become a silent driver behind potential PR restrictions. Slowing permanent residency isn't about rejecting immigrants. It's about buying time. Time to build homes. Time to expand healthcare. Time to rebalance growth across regions. Until Canada fixes its foundation, unlimited PR becomes a risk rather than a benefit. And that's why population numbers are no longer just statistics. They're shaping immigration decisions that could affect millions of lives. If this information made you think differently, drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. We read everyone. And please subscribe to the channel. It's just one click, but it helps us keep making deeply researched videos like this for you. Number 2. Housing breakdown. Across Canada, the housing system is under extreme stress, and it's no longer a future problem. It's happening right now. Rents have doubled in some cities within just a few years. Vacancy rates are at historic lows, and even people with stable jobs are struggling to find a place to live. The uncomfortable truth is this: Canada is not building homes fast enough for the number of people arriving. When demand rises faster than supply, prices explode, and that pressure is now reshaping immigration policy. What many people don't realize is how deeply housing influences PR decisions. Housing shortages don't just affect newcomers, they affect voters. Young Canadians are delaying families, professionals are leaving major cities, and homelessness is rising. As frustration grows, immigration becomes an easy target in political debates. Even when experts agree immigration isn't the only cause, governments respond to public pressure, not just data. Slowing permanent residency becomes a visible way to show action, even if it doesn't solve the entire problem. This is why housing has become one of the strongest reasons behind potential PR limits in 2026. Until construction, zoning reforms, and infrastructure catch up, adding more permanent residents increases instability. From the government's perspective, pausing or reducing PR is not anti-immigrant. It's a damage control strategy. Housing isn't just about buildings anymore, it's about social balance. And when that balance is threatened, immigration policies are often the first lever governments pull. If this hit close to home, comment housing and share your experience. Your voice matters here. And please subscribe to the channel. One click helps us keep breaking down complex issues with honesty and effort. Number 3. Healthcare overload. Long before immigration became a hot topic, Canada's healthcare system was already under pressure, but rapid population growth has pushed it to the edge. Walk-in clinics are disappearing, family doctors are impossible to find, and emergency rooms are operating beyond capacity. In many cities, people now wait hours, sometimes days, just to receive basic medical care. When more people are added to the system without expanding hospitals, staff, and funding at the same pace, the result is overload, and that overload has consequences. What's rarely discussed is how permanent residency changes the healthcare equation. Temporary residents often rely on private insurance or limited coverage, but PR holders enter the public system fully and permanently. That means long-term healthcare costs, aging-related care, and increased demand for specialists. Canada already faces a shortage of doctors and nurses, and training new professionals takes years, not months. Immigration can help solve this problem, but only when it's carefully targeted, not when intake grows faster than the system can absorb. This is why healthcare capacity is becoming a quiet but powerful reason behind possible PR restrictions. Governments know that if hospitals collapse, public trust collapses with them. Slowing PR isn't about blaming immigrants for healthcare issues. It's about preventing the system from breaking entirely. Until Canada can train more doctors, expand facilities, and modernize healthcare delivery, adding unlimited permanent residents becomes a risk policymakers are no longer willing to take. Healthcare isn't just a service. It's a pressure point shaping the future of immigration. If you've experienced long wait times or healthcare struggles, share your story in the comments. We read them all. And please subscribe to support the hours of research that go into every video. It's just one click, but it means everything. Number 4. Job market saturation. For years, Canada has repeated one message loudly: we need workers. But the reality on the ground tells a very different story. In many sectors, job competition is becoming intense, wages are stagnating, and newcomers are struggling to find work in their trained fields. Engineers driving taxis and graduates working survival jobs are no longer rare stories. They are becoming the norm. When too many people chase too few quality jobs, the promise of opportunity starts to fade. What's happening is not a lack of people, but mismatch. Canada needs very specific skills in very specific places, yet immigration intake has often been broad and volume-based. This creates crowded entry-level markets while critical roles remain unfilled. At the same time, automation and AI are quietly reducing demand in many white-collar and administrative jobs. The result? A labor market that looks strong on paper but feels unstable in real life, especially for new PR holders trying to establish themselves. This is where permanent residency becomes a sensitive issue. PR is a long-term commitment between a country and an individual. When the job market cannot absorb people into meaningful, sustainable employment, that commitment starts to look risky. From the governance perspective, slowing PR allows time to realign immigration with actual labor needs, not outdated assumptions. It's not about shutting people out. It's about avoiding a future where newcomers feel misled and locals feel displaced. The job market isn't collapsing, but it is tightening, and that pressure is now shaping immigration decisions more than ever before. If you're struggling to find work or working below your skill level, tell us your story in the comments. Your experience matters. And please subscribe to the channel. It's one click for you, but it supports countless hours of research behind every video. Number 5. Student to PR pipeline abuse. What began as an education pathway has quietly turned into a permanent residency shortcut. Over the past decade, international study permits exploded, not because of academic demand, but because studying in Canada became the safest way to secure PR. Thousands of private colleges emerged almost overnight, promising affordable programs with one hidden selling point: immigration potential. Education slowly shifted from learning to leverage. The problem is that this system was never designed for mass immigration through classrooms. Many students enroll in low-value programs, graduate with limited job prospects, and then scramble for survival work just to stay eligible for PR. Some pay enormous tuition fees, take on debt, and later discover that the pathway they were sold no longer exists. This doesn't just harm students. It damages Canada's education reputation and floods the labor market with underprepared graduates. From the government's point of view, This is a structural failure. When study permits are used primarily as immigration tools, PR loses its purpose as a selective, skills-based system. Tightening or pausing PR becomes a way to break the dependency loop between study permits and permanent status. This isn't about denying genuine students a future. It's about restoring balance and honesty. Canada is signaling that education should lead to opportunity, not guaranteed residency. And that shift could redefine who qualifies for PR moving forward. If you came to Canada as a student or are planning to, comment student and share your thoughts. And please subscribe. One simple click helps us keep exposing the truth behind complex immigration systems. Number 6. Political pressure. Behind closed doors, immigration decisions are often shaped less by economics and more by politics. As living costs rise and public frustration grows, voters start demanding answers, and fast. Rent is high, healthcare is slow, jobs feel unstable, and many citizens begin asking a simple question: is the system working for us? In moments like this, immigration becomes one of the most visible and emotional topics in national debate. During election cycles, governments become especially sensitive to public mood. Even if immigration brings long-term benefits, short-term pain dominates headlines. Opposition parties use immigration numbers as ammunition, while ruling parties rush to show control. Slowing permanent residency is a clear, headline-friendly move that signals action, even if the deeper problems take years to fix. It's not always about facts. It's about perception, trust, and political survival. What makes this situation powerful is timing. With multiple elections approaching and public patience wearing thin, leaders are under pressure to act decisively. Reducing or pausing PR allows governments to calm voters while they reassess policies behind the scenes. This doesn't mean immigration is ending. It means it's being reshaped under political heat. For PR applicants, this is crucial to understand. Immigration systems don't change only because of need. They change because of votes. And when pressure rises, policy shift can happen faster than anyone expects. If you think politics is driving immigration changes, write politics in the comments and share your view. And please subscribe. It's just one click, but it supports the real effort behind every video you watch here. Number 7. Quality over quantity. Recently, Canada's immigration mindset has started to shift in a subtle but powerful way. For years, success was measured by how many people enter the country. Bigger numbers meant growth, progress, and global appeal. But now, policymakers are asking a different question. Are we bringing in the right people at the right time for the right roles? This shift from volume to value is changing how permanent residency is viewed. Instead of broad PR invitations, Canada is increasingly focused on targeted immigration, specific skills, specific regions, and specific industries. Healthcare workers, skilled trades, and niche tech roles are prioritized, while general profiles face tougher competition. At the same time, short-term work permits and temporary pathways are being used more aggressively, giving the government flexibility without long-term commitments. This allows Canada to fill urgent gaps without expanding PR numbers too quickly. For PR hopefuls, this is a major wake-up call. Fewer PR spots doesn't mean fewer immigrants. It means higher standards and sharper filters. The traditional idea of come first, qualify later is fading. In its place is a system that rewards precision, not patience. Canada is no longer chasing numbers to look welcoming. It's chasing outcomes to stay functional. And for millions of applicants, understanding this shift could be the difference between adapting early or being left behind when the rules quietly change. If you believe immigration should focus on skills, not numbers, comment quality below. And don't forget to subscribe. One click from you helps us keep delivering honest, research-backed content like this. Number 8. Economic uncertainty. Whenever the global economy starts to shake, immigration policy is one of the first areas governments quietly reassess. Inflation, rising interest rates, slowing growth, and fears of recession create an environment where leaders become risk-averse. In uncertain times, long-term commitments feel dangerous, and permanent residency is one of the longest commitments a country can make. Canada is no exception to this pattern. Economic slowdowns change priorities. Instead of expansion, Governments focus on stability. Instead of growth, they focus on control. Businesses hire cautiously, layoffs increase, and public spending tightens. In this environment, adding large numbers of permanent residents becomes politically and financially sensitive. If newcomers can't find stable work, the pressure shifts to social programs, housing support, and healthcare, all of which are already stretched. From a policy standpoint, slowing PR becomes a defensive move, not a hostile one. This is why PR often shrinks before the economy fully shows damage. It's a preemptive decision designed to reduce future strain. Canada isn't closing its doors because the economy is weak today. It's reacting to uncertainty about tomorrow. For immigrants, this means timing matters more than ever. Economic cycles influence immigration pathways quietly but powerfully. And when uncertainty rises, PR becomes selective, cautious, and harder to access, even for strong applicants. If economic changes worry you, comment economy and share how it's affecting your plans. And please subscribe. One simple click supports the deep research behind every video on this channel. Number 9. System backlogs. Behind every immigration announcement is a system quietly struggling to keep up. Canada's Immigration Department is dealing with massive backlogs, delayed files, and overwhelmed officers. Applications are piling up faster than they can be processed, leading to months, sometimes years, of waiting with no clear answers. For applicants, this creates stress and uncertainty. For the government, it signals a system under serious strain. What many people don't realize is that immigration isn't just policy, it's logistics. Every PR file requires background checks, medical reviews, security screening, and detailed verification. When intake remains high while staffing and technology lag behind, quality control suffers. Mistakes increase, processing slows, and public trust erodes. A broken system doesn't just hurt applicants, it weakens the credibility of the entire immigration framework. This is why slowing or pausing PR becomes a strategic reset button. Reducing intake allows authorities to clear existing backlogs, modernize processes, and redesign selection models without drowning in unfinished files. It's not dramatic, but it's powerful. From a government perspective, fixing the system first is better than expanding it further. For applicants, this explains why strong profiles still face silence or delays. The issue isn't always you. Sometimes the system itself needs breathing room before it can move forward again. If you're stuck waiting on an application, type "waiting" in the comments. You're not alone. And please subscribe to support the time and effort it takes to break down these realities clearly and honestly. Number 10. Immigration reset. Instead of an outright shutdown, what Canada may be preparing for is a full reset of its immigration system. Governments rarely pause something as important as permanent residency without a bigger plan in mind. Behind the scenes, Canada is exploring new selection models, better data use, and technology-driven screening to redesign how immigrants are chosen. The goal isn't fewer people forever. It's a smarter, more controlled system that aligns with real national needs. Traditional PR pathways were built for a different era: slower growth, cheaper housing, and less global competition. Today, Canada faces new realities: rapid population changes, economic uncertainty, and strained public services. A reset allows policymakers to step back, evaluate what worked, what failed, and what needs to change. This could mean occupation-based PR, region-specific quotas, or even replacing some permanent pathways with long-term temporary options. For applicants, this marks the end of one-size-fits-all immigration. This final reason ties everything together. Population pressure, housing, healthcare, jobs, politics, and economics all point toward the same conclusion. The old system can't continue unchanged. A pause or reduction in PR is not the end, it's a transition. Those who understand this early can adapt, upskill, and plan smarter. Those who don't may be caught waiting for a system that no longer exists. The future of Canadian immigration isn't closing, it's being rebuilt quietly and strategically. If this video changed how you see Canada PR, comment "reset" and share your thoughts. And please subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us keep delivering deeply researched content made with real effort for you. At this point, one thing should be clear. The conversation around Canada's permanent residency is no longer about opportunity alone. It's about capacity, balance, and sustainability. Canada hasn't suddenly turned against immigrants. What's happening is more complex and far more important. The country is facing real pressure from rapid population growth, housing shortages, healthcare strain, job market shifts, political realities, and global economic uncertainty. When all of these forces collide at once, immigration policy becomes a tool for control, not expansion. For millions of people watching this video, students, workers, families, and hopeful applicants, this moment feels unsettling. Years of planning, investment, and sacrifice now sit under a cloud of uncertainty. But uncertainty doesn't mean the end. It means change. Canada may reduce PR numbers, pause certain pathways, or redesign the system entirely. But immigration itself is not disappearing. It's evolving. And those who adapt early will always have an advantage. This is why staying informed matters more than ever. Blind optimism is risky, but informed planning is powerful. Instead of relying on old assumptions or false promises, now is the time to understand policy trends, diversify options, build real skills, and prepare for multiple outcomes. Immigration success in the coming years won't belong to the fastest applicants. It will belong to the most prepared ones. If there's one takeaway from this video, let it be this: Canada is not closing its doors, but is redesigning the lock. And only those who understand how that lock works will find the key. The future of PR will reward awareness, strategy, and flexibility, not luck. If this video gave you clarity, leave a comment with your situation. We genuinely read and reply. Watch our previous video for deeper context, and please subscribe to support this channel. It's just one click, but helps us keep producing well-researched content with real effort behind it.